Hello everyone! Welcome back to Advanced Pokemon Enterprise Season 3. My name is DemonBattler, I am the coach of the Vegas Golden Sirnights, and today we are going to face off in our first battle of the season. Our opponent today is the Burned Tower Bronzongs, coached by our friend Mark, and for those of you who don't know, he was actually in the previous season of the Advanced Pokemon Enterprise, and one of the biggest meme sets that he managed to come up with was a speed swap variant of Bronzong, which actually took to him very well, and actually worked out fairly nicely throughout the season. So, we're kind of expecting him to pull some kind of goofy stuff on that in this battle, and we have to make sure we are prepared for that. So, looking at Mark's roster here, this is the team he had drafted to begin with, and this is the team we're going to have to compare our own roster against. So as you can see, he has quite a few powerful Pokemon here. Chi-Yu is a very strong fire and dark type that can really break a lot of games if you're not careful. He has Dragonite and Florges, which are both pretty bulky in their own right and also very good as a support or offensive threat. Of course, Bronzong is there, so we have to keep that in mind. And then we see he has Gengar, Mantine, and Bellibolt as his three choices for a Terra Captain. So, now keep in mind, we do not have to say which of them are going to be our Terra Captain for the week. So, for all I know, he could bring Gengar, Mantine, and Bellibolt all to the battle, and for all we know, any one of them could be the Terra Captain, and we'll have to find out in the middle of the battle. However, looking at the rest of his team, I kind of feel like his team is going to comprise of this. I think these are going to be the 6 Pokemon he brings, and I definitely feel like Mantine might come in as a defensive water type, as well as the fact that with the option of it being a Terra Captain, I feel like Mark might bring that in for the sake of more or less just having options, specifically so that way we might focus on Gengar, but he might Terra into Mantine instead, or vice versa. We might be expecting a bit more of a defensive core, and then he might bring Gengar in to Terra out and basically go for a massive wall breaker. But these are the 6 that we're expecting, and as such, I plan my team around them, while at the same time preparing alternative options for in case he brings the other Pokemon. So, looking at our team, we actually have quite a few powerful options here. First off, we have Koko, our Tapu Koko. It's Modest Nature with Thunderbolt, U-Turn, Thief, and Dazzling Gleam. Now, the reason I went with Modest over Timid is that, realistically speaking, we actually outspeed at base 130 speed everything on his team that isn't Choice Scarfed. So I figure, if worse comes to worse and he has a Scarfed Mon, then Koko honestly is not going to be the best there anyway, and preferably we can scout out that Choice Scarf before anything else. But, as you may notice, Koko actually doesn't have an item on hand, and that's because we have Thief as our option. This is so that way, if there is a Scarfmon, we could go in while it switches in, or alternatively, if it manages to not kill us, we could Thief, steal the Choice Scarf away, which kind of gives us an advantage in that regard. And then on top of that, it also lets us scout out a little bit of information as well, to try to get an idea of what they have. Who knows, once we get rid of, honestly, even if it's a defensive Pokemon with leftovers, if we steal that away, we get a little bit of recovery, and it kind of slows down on their defensive walls, so that's kind of important. Then we see Helios, our Heatran, who has Stealth Rock, Flamethrower, Flash Cannon, and Power Gem. Now, this may seem a bit of an odd choice to have Power Gem on here, but my reasoning is that Power Gem at least can deal some decent damage to Dragonite, being part flying. Whereas, if we were to go for something else, like, say, an Ice-type Terra Blast, it would still be strong, but it would also put us in a position to where we would need to Terra into a type that's not that great. Because Ice-type is still going to be weak to the same types that Heatran are weak to in this regard. Specifically, fighting is kind of my big worry, more or less. But I feel like with Terra-type flying, that gives us a immunity to its main weakness, which is important. Stealth Rock can help out for chip damage, and then 2 main coverage moves just to help out in that regard. So we're not really going to make use of the flying type in sense of offense, but it's going to be more a case of using it defensively. And then we have Iron Leaves, which we have decided to name Evergreen, and I'm sure you can understand why. And Evergreen is actually going to be pretty useful for us. It's Jolly Nature, with 252 speed, 160 attack, and 96 HP. Now, the reason we've gone with that is because, funny enough, with 160 attack, we're actually higher. Wait. No, that's what it is. We're just a little bit over with speed, and with 160 attack, we're just under the threshold to where attack would get boosted. So we'll get a speed boost, and the attack strength is going to be good on its own already. And then we look at the moveset, we have Psyblade, Leaf Blade, Sacred Sword, and Quick Attack. Quick Attack is there mostly, again, in case something comes up that is scarfed and we need to deal with it. That helps with a little bit of priority. And then Psyblade is a really strong move with 80 base power as a psychic attack, but it doubles up, or it goes up to 120 if it's in electric terrain, which realistically speaking, we should be able to set off thanks to Coco being on the field as well. And as you can see, we have the electric seed on Evergreen, so that way there could be a defensive boost in the process, which kind of helps Evergreen's weakness because Grass and Psychic is kind of a weak typing to deal with, but at least with that it'll help boost its physical defense a little bit to try to get some extra damage in where we need it. And then we see Evangeline, our Flygon, who is carrying the Lumberry, and basically it's kind of a generic set here. Dragon Dance, U-Turn, Earthquake, Dragon Claw, max attack, max speed, you know, typical things. She'll have it a few times to adjust to different things later down the season, but for right now, I just want to stick to something normal for her. And then we have Parker, who is our Araquanid, and this is actually going to be kind of interesting. So, with Parker being physically defensive in this battle, it's going to give it a good overall defense, especially with its high HP, because it actually has a really solid base special defense already. So we're going to focus more on its physical defense, kind of round it out easily, give it a little bit of attack power, and then it has the ability, with Water Bubble, it helps prevent fire damage, it helps prevent burns, and then you look at the moveset, Liquidation is really good as an attack, Lunge is pretty good as an attack, and an attack dropper. Poison Jab is there in case we really need to deal with Florges specifically, and Sticky Web is to help out with speed tiers, especially if the opponent's going to have a Scarfer. And then finally, we see Ray, the Hawlucha, and you're probably looking at this and questioning what the fuck I am doing. There is no speed here. Well, I actually looked into it. With Unburden ability activated, then that means that even with 0 EVs and a neutral nature, Hawlucha with its speed double actually goes higher than Choice Scarf Gengar, which is the fastest Pokemon possible on Mark's team. So, that means that we actually have a chance to activate Hone Claws, get an attack boost, which would make High Jump Kick impossible to miss, and then we look and we have Acrobatics, Iron Head, and High Jump Kick all as our roundup moves. So, granted, none of these would actually be enough to one-shot Gengar specifically, but for the most part, unless Gengar is going to be running Psychic specifically, then we're actually likely to survive a hit and be able to two-shot it, which is actually kind of helpful. And again, the fact that we don't need to focus on speed specifically for this strategy is nice, so we're able to toss it into 252 special defense EVs, kind of raise its bulk a little bit more, and all in all, I think this is going to be a really good team for us. Now, do I expect it to necessarily 6-0 mark? God, no. But I feel like we have a decent chance to start this season off on a good foot. And if we can actually come out with a win here, that's going to be a very nice kickoff to the season, and it'll definitely give us a bit of motivation for later on. So, with that being said, guys, it is time to get into the battle, so we will catch you guys on the battlefield. Stay tuned. Alright, so now we're into the battle, and looking at his roster, we are actually kind of hit and miss here. We see the Dragonite, we see the Gengar, we see the Mantine, but Iron Tread, Silvally, and Zapdos. This is going to be a bit interesting. So, okay. Now we have to figure out what we're going to do here. I definitely don't want to start with Coco because that's going to just open the door to a lot of trouble here. So, I think our best bet... Honestly, I think our best bet is to go ahead and start with Arachnid, and if nothing else, just get the Sticky Web up, because that can help out a lot. Well, do I want that, or do I want to get the Stealth Box started? We're gonna go with the Sticky Web, so let's start with that. Iron Treads. Okay. I bet he was expecting me to start with Coco. So... Unfortunately, I don't think... I'm pretty sure Iron Treads gets Rapid Spin, so we can't Sticky Web. Let's go ahead and Liquidation. If nothing else, we can get a hit off on something, and then if he's going for... If he goes for Rapid Spin, it's not going to do a whole lot to us. Alright. Let's hope for the best here. And as far as I'm aware, unless Mantine has Water Absorb, which it could, I don't think he's gonna switch into Mantine anticipating a Liquidation this early. Ooh, a Stone Edge. Oh, that could have been bad. Okay. Okay, so we get a lot off, so that's good. So it's Stone Edge miss. Okay. The question now is, what do we want to do? I definitely don't want to stay in on a Stone Edge, on a potential Stone Edge here. Honestly, I kind of think switching into Evangeline's a good idea, because... Oh, wait. Is it? It resists Stone Edge, so that's not that big a deal. But it does open the door to a lot of trouble. Well, I say that. We can always just U-turn if we switch it out, so... It doesn't have Quark Drive, and it also doesn't have Leftovers, so that's important to know. Yeah, let's switch into Evangeline. We'll take the Stone Edge, won't take a lot, and then the question is, do we want to U-turn, or do we want to go for Earthquake? Well, okay, I don't want to go for Earthquake, because he's definitely not sticking around. He's got Zapdos, he's got Mantine, he's got Dragonite, he's got 3 flyers, so we are just going to U-turn. And there's the Mantine, okay. So, the question is, what do we want to switch into now? I kind of feel like Coco is probably a good choice. The problem is we don't... Okay, the big problem I see is we actually don't have a way... I don't want to give Donphan... I don't want to give Iron Treads a boost just yet. So, let's switch into... This is actually really tough. Okay, you know what? We're gonna actually switch back. We're gonna switch into Evergreen. No, actually, you know what? We're gonna go into Coco. If he switches into Iron Treads, that's fine. Because he's not gonna be faster, so we'll do that. And And honestly, I feel like right here our best bet is just a U-turn, because he's definitely not going to stay in and take a Thunderbolt. That's obvious. He might switch back into Iron Treads, predicting that, which if he does, I don't really think there's anything that I can steal that's worth it with Heath. Maybe not. Well, okay, Mantine didn't evolve. Okay, so Mantine did not, have leftovers, so I don't know what it's going to do here. We're gonna U-turn. Back into Iron Treads, good. So it gets a defense boost, which is kind of but that's fine, because up to 342. Yeah, we're not gonna, we're probably... Honestly, do we go for Hawlucha now? I don't trust it. I don't like the idea of it, because if we do that, we have to rely on high jump kick hitting, which is not good. Okay, so what we're gonna do... Actually, I feel like... Okay, actually, Helios I think would be better. So the question now is, what do we want to do? Do we want to Terra into... Well, we don't want to Terra into Block, because that's just going to give us a weakness to Stone Edge. Switch. Do we go for Flamethrower right away, or do we go for Stealth Rock? I feel like we go Stealth Rock. Wait, no. We're gonna fly and stuff. Knockoff isn't a lot, that's fine. And then we're gonna Flamethrower here. That's gonna deal some decent damage somewhere. Okay. And that takes care of Iron Treads, which is good, because that gives, with Rocks up and with Iron Treads no longer a problem, that means that Lucha has a chance to come in and actually deal some serious damage here. The question now is, what is he going to go for? I definitely was not expecting the Ice Spinner, I'm not gonna lie. But that actually really worked out nicely for him, especially with us no longer having access to our leftovers. But that's okay, because now he has to either defog in order to clear off the rocks and effectively give us a free turn, or he's just gonna have to deal with it. And honestly, looking at the rest of his team, I don't think Helios is going to matter all that much in that regard. Unless Silvally happens to have like a fairy type drive or something in order to change its type that way. Beyond that, I don't think it matters. Okay. There's the water pin, so there it is. Pretty sure we're going to be slower than this thing. But we can always... The question is, does Helios need it? Do we need Helios for anything specific? I kind of feel like... Power Gem's okay. If he decides to Terra right now, then that's so be it. But Power Gem will let us have something available to us, so we're gonna go with that. Ice Beam really hurt, but that's okay, and we get a decent bit of Power Gem damage off. So it's going for Ice Beam. The fact that he didn't go for Terra means that I'm guessing it's going to be Gengar then, which is kind of important to note. The question is Helios, is it worth it to do anything to Helios? I don't think so. I think Helios... Okay, so we know it's faster. He's faster than us. My thinking is they could either go for Roost, at which point none of these moves really do anything, or they go for Ice Beam to get the kill. I think I'll take the chance with Power Gem. If he goes for 90, well, less than 80 versus 35, 65. Yeah, okay, Power Gem's stronger in that regard. And the Ice Beam takes it down regardless, so no big deal. But this does give us a chance to actually get some decent damage going, because we could just go Coco. I really want to know what the hell Mantine's item is, because Mantine took damage from rocks, so I'm curious. Okay, so the question is he going to switch again or no? He did switch the first time. We're gonna U-turn. No. No, you know what? We're gonna Thunderbolt. He takes a lot from either or. Okay, so Mantine's down. I'm willing to bet that means then that Gengar is definitely gonna be the Terramon. Question is he gonna be... If he's Scarfed, then Coco still takes care of him. If he's Specs, it doesn't really matter as much. So Volley Fairy. Okay. That's what I was a bit worried about that, but okay. Definitely gonna have Terra Blast then. Question though becomes, well, oh no, never mind. It's not gonna have Terra Blast because it's not gonna be a Terra. It's not a Terramon. Honestly, I'd say maybe just let Coco Thunderbolt again, deal a lot of damage. I don't think it can one-shot us. You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna go for that. Let's see what it does. Let's see what Mark comes up with here. That does a lot. Defog. Oh, I did not realize Savali has access to Defog. That is good to know. Unfortunately, that means that Dragonite does have options now because it's still full health, but that's okay. So we're going to Thunderbolt again. We're going to clear it out. There's the Gengar. Okay. This is where we actually have to be careful. Sludge Bomb, if it's Scarf, it will outspeed and kill us easily with Sludge Bomb. So we definitely need to figure a choice out. Honestly, looking at his team, I think Parker's probably the best one to go down. Sticky Web is not very useful at this point, and unfortunately we really need something. Like, we need a clean switch, basically. So we're gonna switch into Parker. Electric type? Hold up. Double speed? Oh shit. Blunder Policy Hypnosis. Oh no. So that thing's gonna have 700 speed. Oh my god, that actually means that we don't... It's gonna be faster than Hawlucha. Oh no. That's not good. Okay, you know what? We have to do what we can. We hit Liquidation. That does a lot, but that's okay. Oh my god, Liquidation took it down that low. Oh, I was not expecting that. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. We're Cursed Body, so we can't attack it. We can't use it again. We're gonna lunge. If he kills us, then he kills us. So be it. We can outspeed, we can quick attack and take it down. That's no worry. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna save Gengar for Death Fodder? Which if he does, then he loses his speed, but I don't know. I feel like he's kind of expecting this is gonna be a case of being able to, I don't know if he thinks that he's gonna be able to sweep Sludge Wave. Okay. Now the question becomes, what do we do here? Really, I feel like the smart move would be just to go to Evergreen and quick attack. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go into Evergreen, and we're just gonna click quick attack. He's probably expecting this to be the game. So, if we can quick attack and knock it out, then perfect. Thank you, Evergreen. Thank you, Evergreen. I cannot believe that actually mattered. I really considered not having quick attack on there, and thank God I kept it. Alright, there's the Dragonite. Now comes the problem. Dragonite is kind of slow. Okay. We need to decide how we're dealing with this. So, Coco is definitely going to come in handy here, big time. But I can't allow him to set up too much. So we're gonna switch to Coco. Let's see what happens. There's the Dragon Dance. Okay. 359. He's gonna be faster. But that's okay. We're gonna D-Gleam. We're gonna Dazzling Gleam. It's gonna deal a lot. I don't think he can one-shot. Even with +1 Iron Head, I don't think it's enough to one-shot. Now, if he goes for a second Dragon Dance, then we are in serious trouble. Because Hawlucha is not going to be able to outspeed that. I really want to know what he's got for Zapdos, though, not gonna lie. Because he hasn't brought that in at all yet. And I know Dazzling Gleam's not gonna be enough to kill because of multi-scale, but it at least will deal enough to put him in range. Let's see what he does. The suspense is killing me here. Earthquake. I forgot that thing gets Earthquake. I completely fucking forgot that it has Earthquake. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. We're gonna have to Iron Head. We're gonna have to Iron Head here. And basically hope we flinch. We should be faster, though. Yeah, we're definitely faster. I hate the fact that we're going to have to rely on an Iron Head potential flinch, but at this point, that's really the only option we've got. And if he switches into Zapdos, then that's no big deal because Iron Head plus Acrobatics should be enough to kill it. Now the other thing too is if he has to switch, if he ends up switching Dragonite out, then we know that Flygon will outspeed. Oh my god, that did not do a lot at all. Is he max defense? Oh, he has to be defensive. He has to be physical. Okay. Unfortunately, that kind of puts us in a position where we are more or less screwed here. I don't think we're going to outspeed here, but we have to Psyblade. We deal what we can. Oh, the multi-scale. Shit, I forgot about that. Dude, I just talked about the multi-scale a minute ago, and I somehow forgot that. Man, okay, so, wow. Okay, this is, I'm not gonna lie, Dragonite has a much different moveset than I was expecting it to have, but this is problematic, big time. Granted, we kind of neutralized the attack boost here with the Electric Seed, which is good. I don't know, however, if Psychic Blade is going to be strong enough to finish off the Dragonite. I don't think it will. And unfortunately, Dual Wing Beat has a good chance of taking us out either way. Okay, Psyblade did not do a lot. Ice Spinner. Okay, we're faster still. Good to know. Wait, how the hell? Ice Spinner, son of a... Yep, okay. That's actually a big problem now. Okay, let's think. So Ice Spinner had, not Ice Spinner. Psyblade did 62%, that was base 120. I think Psyblade's... Wait, what? Hold up. There's no friggin'... Oh no, right, I forgot. Quark Drive disappears when the thing disappears. Oh, that's a problem. Yep, that's it. Wow. Okay, I completely forgot about the fact that Quark Drive does not keep the boost going without the field. Oh boy. Okay. So that was a loss on our point. Yeah. Okay, I should have expected that. I definitely punted a little bit in prep, but not too bad. 2-0 still not too bad. All right. Time for the post game. Okay, so unfortunately, we did not end up winning this match, which kinda sucks, but at the same time, I'm not too brokenhearted about it. It is the first week, and it was only a 2-0, so we could definitely get some better luck here. We still have 8 weeks of the season to go, so it's not that big a worry at the moment. Now, for our weekly MVP. Even though we lost, we still need to designate a Pokemon as our MVP for the week, and we've decided, after a discussion, to go with Tapu Koko. The reason is because, unlike some of the other Pokemon who definitely were a bit more defensive and definitely lasted a while for their goal, the fact is Tapu Koko is actually a really big benefit to our team overall. It provides electric terrain to help with Iron Leaves and Hawlucha, which are both important to pay attention to, And in this battle, it actually helped out quite a lot, even though we didn't win. And the other thing was, it also had a lot of damage to deal with Thunderbolt, which it did manage to take down Mantine, and it did manage to punch a few holes in a few other Pokemon, so honestly, I'll take what I can get out of that, especially considering that Savali could have been a big problem too. Taking it out was very important as well. So, at least for this week, Tapu Koko definitely earns that point. The others are definitely going to step up, though, to try to earn their credit as well. So, next week, we are facing off against the Appletons, who is coached by Strawbacher, and we are going to be a little worried because they are already at they already have a win, and they are at a +3 differential, which is big, at least for early season. So, we're definitely going to have to strategize and work well with them, but we have hope. So, with that being said, we will catch you guys next week. Have a great day.